Um, it's just my superpower, Jack.
Yeah. Your ability to know when I'm cooking food, and my sister's ability to know when I'm pooping.
I'm glad I'm the food guy, not the poop person.
Yeah, I am too. It'd be weird if, like, Monkey sent me a link when I'm pooping. Well, time to go live, guys.
It would add a certain urgency to the show.
It would definitely add some kind of je ne sais quoi.
Speaking of show, this is Monkey in the Morning. I'm Monk. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I don't know. How you doing?
Just tired. I mean, a little sore, but that's to be expected. I went out today. We have a storm coming tomorrow, and I've already realized my entire weekend's going to be screwed up now because normally we do shopping on Saturdays,
Yeah.
and so I keep thinking it's Saturday, and it's just not. So the Super Bowl's not tomorrow; it's the next day, apparently.
Oh, I thought the Super Bowl was tomorrow.
Well, technically now, yes, but only because we're on the East Coast and it's after midnight.
No, I mean, I thought it was on Saturday for some reason. Because I don't know what day it is half the time.
It is technically Saturday, and yeah, it's tomorrow. So can't wait to watch that. Go Chiefs. If I can't root for my Chargers, I'll root for the Chiefs. Representing the AFC West. Maybe we'll finally get a three-peat in football, which has never happened.
I don't know what that means.
That means 3 championship wins in a row.
Oh.
Although you're not allowed to say that because Pat Riley's bitch ass copyrighted the term, even though he didn't make it up.
He copyrighted 3 in a row?
No, three-peat.
Oh, three-peat? Really?
Yes.
That's a fairly common word. I don't think that's going to hold up under scrutiny.
Yeah, his little bitch ass did that. So technically, we're not allowed to call it a three-peat if they win. I'm still going to because fuck him. Let him try it. Sue me, bitch.
Yeah, no shit.
It's more the Chiefs won't be able to say it and put it on gear and stuff because that would actually be worth suing over. Although I'm with you, I think it should any court in the land should throw that out because of the common usage.
Yeah. There was a case recently that got tossed. Oh, Space Marine. Somebody, Games Workshop tried to sue someone. They're like, you guys stole the name from Robert Heinlein. You can't claim you own that.
Have the 40K guys ever done anything original?
Not really. Most of their stuff is ripped off from, well, heavily influenced, I should say, from other things.
And guys, I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I mean, influences in pop culture is just common.
Yeah.
But they are such dicks about it. They're like Disney about shit.
Oh, yeah. They're the Disney of Britain.
And if you're going to be that kind of dick, then I'm going to point out that you just stole everything yourself.
Yeah. Most of which was taken from like Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
And Tolkien.
Anyhow, yeah, fuck them.
Excuse me.
Jack, the big question of the night. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not have much to talk about because I didn't do much today. I was busy.
Oh. Grown up.
I didn't even play very many video games today. I was busy.
Weird.
Now, I have been told that what you see on the screen, specifically the part that is showing her titty so nicely, is called a keyhole cut.
No. That's not what a keyhole cut is.
I honestly don't know, but I've started calling it a titty window. And I feel like that's what it should be named.
I think we should call it the Mountain View.
I'm gonna call Mike Harlow because he's gay and they're the ones who decide what fashion is for women.
That's true.
And ask him at the next gay man meeting if they will rename this to Titty Window.
Yeah, the next committee meeting. I'm sure there's. I mean, first of all, those two look uneven. The one on our right looks bigger than the one on the left.
Well, none of them are perfectly symmetrical, dude.
No, but you got to keep looking for that. If you find a perfectly symmetrical set of tits, you probably died or that's a robot.
They're on a mannequin, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that ain't. It's like one of your testicles hangs lower than the other one. It's just natural.
Yeah, that's the one that takes the damage when you get hit.
It is, and that's why it's bigger.
Yeah, it's the front guard. That's because it's swollen all the time. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things you could call that, like the path to Mount Doom. The peaks before the valley.
At what point do we just let women run around topless? Seriously.
You don't want to do that because the women that'll go topless, you don't want to see topless. They usually have hairy areola.
Well, I'm being honest, I don't want to see most women topless because I'm not a huge boob fan, and two, I like the mystery, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't need to see them all because it ruins the fun of imagining. Yeah. And then you see it for real, and it's like, I've seen titties before, and those just look like titties. That's how we're opening the show tonight, guys. Talking about boobs. Areolas. Yuck. No, I was
go to one of those like hippie festivals. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I was watching Wendigoon because he had a new video come out a couple of days ago that I just saw.
Oh, you watch his videos?
Yeah.
Oh.
He did one on that German family that got killed at their home. It's a pretty famous case.
The Hunter Kaifek murders.
Yeah, the Googly Gok folks.
Yeah, that one.
And it was a good video. I like his videos. I like the way he tells the true crime stories. They feel, I want to say, more interactive. It's like he's actually, rather than just reciting the facts of the case, cold hard style. It's like a discussion. And then they recommended to me his one on the what's that oil rig that the oil platform that had an explosion because they decompressed the bell too quickly.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what that was called, but
I forget the name of it, and I'm like, that's fucking horrifying. And then it recommended the Unabomber one, which, like, did I watch that? And so I started watching it, and I had watched it before, except apparently not all of it, because he does the main story of Kaczynski, and then he starts going over the manifesto, which I hadn't watched all of that part.
Oh.
And I'm going to be honest with you, Jack. I never read it. I don't know much about Ted. I now know a lot more about him than I had, and I'm glad that prick is dead.
Yeah, he was a bad person. Killed a lot of people, some innocent.
Almost everybody that he maimed or killed was innocent. Yeah. And frankly, I would say they all were, if we're being honest.
Yeah, well, maybe he got a guilty person by happenstance, but he's a bad person.
But I have a problem with the Unabomber on a bigger level, because his whole thing was anti-technology, and I see so many nerds on the internet who worship this man.
Ironic that they're on the internet.
It's like commies who are, practicing capitalism.
Yeah.
Hassan. I like technology, Jack. There's one part in Kaczynski's thing, because everybody talks about how smart this man is, or was. He's dead now.
Yeah.
Rest in hell.
He's dead, Jim.
Well, he says that no technology can be good, even medicine, because let's say, and this is his example, not mine, you cure diabetes. That's the word he used, cure diabetes. Well, then the people with diabetes are just going to hump enough that diabetes infects the entire world as it gets passed around to everybody like it's an STD. He meant genetically down to your children.
Yeah.
But if that happened and we had a cure for it, you could just cure the people with it.
Well, if you collapse civilization like he wanted, you wouldn't have that cure anymore.
I think some of the Elon worship goes a little too far, but I'll take him over Kaczynski every day of the week. And not just because, as far as we know, Elon hasn't killed anyone yet. Yet. He will eventually. He's going to turn into Lex Luthor, man.
Or Tony Stark, and he'll take up drinking.
He's going to shave his head and try to go find Superman. If your name is Clark Kent, look out.
Time to move.
Oh, man, did you see the shit going on outside the Treasury Department?
The protests?
Yeah, protest my ass. It was a stage publicity stunt from the fucking Democrats in Congress.
Then yes, I did see that.
There were no real people out there. They were even like, we're Congress people. You won't let us in. Hang on. I want to find one of the videos because we have to watch this shit because this is amazing to me that anybody is falling for this. And trust me, they are, because I've had conversations with them in the little bit of time I was on Twitter today. They're like, one guy's like, I know the kind of people who try to stop folks from going into education buildings.
I saw that.
And then
apparently he's really worried about bureaucrats.
Yeah, this is the Department of Education is not a education building. It's an administrative building.
Yeah, there aren't people going in there to learn things.
No. But our Congress, the Democrats in Congress, are really, really upset that they're not allowed to go in there right now. And for the record, I don't know why they're not allowed to go in, but I don't fucking care. I don't care. But this poor bastard here with the questionable bandage on his neck is charged right now with keeping them from going inside.
And he's like a security guard kind of guy.
And they do eventually call the police, and depending on how you saw it reported, one of the congressmen himself tweeted out, now they've called the police on us. No, they were behind this window, this door here. They were inside the building just in case shit went wrong. It's not like they came out and arrested him or fake arrested him like they did with AOC at that one protest.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Excuse me.
Are you prepared to stand here all night if we decide to stay?
I guess, yeah.
All right, well, you just stay right there.
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's what I paid for.
That was Maxine Waters. Are you prepared to stay here all night? One, I loved you in Rocky IV. That dance and song you did was amazing. But two, how fucking childish is that?
Well, it's Maxine Waters, dude. Real quick though, thank you, KS1X. Hey Jack, I just want to say I really admire your charity works, coming on and helping the disabled and low quality streamers even after everything that's happened. Also, hi Monkey.
Hello.
Thanks, Chaos. Wow, that was a bit harsh, but thank you.
The other thing I'd like to point out is that building is a government building. Jack, do you think that building's open all night?
No, it's probably only open business hours. Like
probably closes no later than like 6.
Oh, I would say probably before that, like 4 or 5.
What I love about this though is they're demanding they get in there. How many times do you think these people have ever been to the Department of Education before?
Total of 0 times, I would be willing to venture.
There's one clip where one of these fucking assholes from Congress actually says the words, "Do you know who I am?" Nobody's allowed in right now. That means you, no matter who you are.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of, I don't care who you are. Do you know who I am? Fuck off.
The Department of Education is a waste of money. It is government overreach. The education is something that should be left to the states, unless you guys can show me in the Constitution where I can show you where it's not in the Constitution. It's in the 10th Amendment.
What?
If somebody would like to show me otherwise, I'm happy to hear it, but you'd be wrong. It doesn't even fall under general welfare. So I'm not even sure how this has ever been allowed to happen other than people were like, cool, we're going to waste more government money.
Yeah, that sounds right. They need a communist learning center. Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. I'd just like to remind everyone that Ted Kaczynski was a subject in the MK Ultra experiments when he was in college, when he was only 17. Well, I'm sure that didn't help, but crazy cousin Ted went out in the sheds in the middle of nowhere and made himself some boom boom devices. And,
I mean,
that he went off the deep end.
We don't have we know that there was an experiment done with him, but it wasn't, as far as we know, actually MK Ultra. His mentor just constantly questioned everything he did and told him he was shit. For the record, Kaczynski had already been like thinking about murdering people before that happened. So I don't think you can really blame that on MK Ultra. You know what I mean?
Stop me from trying.
Load up. God damn it. There we go. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist $12. The DOE, Department of Education, has been nothing but an indoctrination headquarters since it started. If anything, it's a national security threat. It's absolutely a national security threat. We do not need the federal government involved in education. And the whole idea, and by the way, remember, this is at a time when the literacy rates, Jack, are in the high 90 percentile. And they're like, what we need to do is destroy that. Because Carter was a socialist moron.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jimmy. I wouldn't call it the indoctrination headquarters because they still have to skirt a bunch of stuff, but it is certainly in the network. It's in the network of the indoctrination system. What do they do? Seriously, other than push around some money and tell schools that they have to do things for trans kids and stupid shit like that. What do they do? Do they set a national curriculum? No.
They create some of the standardized testing,
which they farm out to other people. Which the states could just do it themselves.
Oh, that's too much independence there, buddy.
Somebody tell me what this department does that we need them for. Other than spending our money, because they love doing that.
Making you obedient.
I've been having the Department of Education argument for decades. Way back in my 20s when I learned what the Department of Education said. This is back in my libertarian days anyway, Jack. Like, fuck that. That is some stupid shit. There is no need for it. And it has not gotten better since the 90s.
No, it's not going to.
Your state departments of education, and actually it's your local school boards who do it. They set the curriculum. Your state has certain mandates that they require. And then the municipalities get to do it on a more direct level. The federal government doesn't do that. They can't. It's not in their purview.
Purview.
Way too accurate a term talking about education these days.
Yeah, I know.
But we do need to watch this video, Jack, because I'm not a heartless man, okay? I realize there's people losing their jobs, and when I see stuff like this, it affects me.
It's been what? It's been like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote? In 2 weeks, I went from the highest high to being unemployed.
That sucks.
Lost my job last night. Got a phone call. The repercussions of what Elon Musk are doing with the USAID has real repercussions for real people. For the last 7 years, I have been a shift lead on Project Bus where we studied to find out if the wheels on the bus went round around or not. And all of a sudden, Elon, who's not even elected, gets in, and I'm out of a job.
That is hard to hear, man.
It really is.
I love his daughter back here trying to hold it together the whole time.
Right?
As
Does this
I was
have the
watching
other
this-
ones on it? Did you get the one I sent you?
I got one that you sent me.
Oh, maybe I didn't send it to you.
Yeah, you sent me the one with the shit about weekends and
yeah.
weekdays.
Yeah.
I saw this. I laughed so fucking hard when it got to the wheels on the bus. I knew there was some kind of setup because there's no way he was throwing away his MAGA hat that quickly.
Oh, fuck no. Too much winning going on.
That motherfucker had me. Oh, dude. I was watching this, and then once he got the wheels on the bus, I really started paying attention. I see his daughter cracking up in the back, and I just couldn't help but watch her trying. I love watching people try to keep it together.
Yeah.
And she's supposed to be the straight man in the back, acting sad. He sold it really well. He actually did.
Yeah, he did a great job.
He goes on to tell us that the worst part of this is that now we'll never know if the wheels on the bus do in fact go round and round. That's what I needed in my life, Jack. I always need more comedy in my life.
Yeah, I know.
I like to laugh, unlike women. Speaking of, this chick here, we're not actually going to watch her thing because I can't watch it a second time. There's a woman over on the Tickety Talk who is upset, very, very upset, Jack, that somebody she follows, some chick that is cute and funny, is a Trump supporter.
Oh my God, the horrors.
And she doesn't think you should be allowed even to be both attractive and a Trump supporter.
There's a lot of really cute Trump supporters.
Apparently, hey, you should have known that they were a Trump supporter when they had a sense of humor.
Yeah.
That should have been a dead fucking giveaway right there.
And they seemed happy.
I don't know how you missed that fucking clue.
Right?
But she tells us about two different people that she follows who are cute chicks, who are funny, who, support Trump.
2 unicorns.
2. And the first one, not only was she a cute, funny woman, she was a person of color.
Oh my God. Was it association?
She doesn't actually, I don't believe she actually gives the race. I believe she uses the term person of color.
She means black then.
Did you see that one idiot who, referring to white people, said a person of no color?
No.
It was.
I have heard person of the Mayo persuasion, though.
This was like some serious person. They weren't making a joke.
Oh,
they used the term person of no color, which, by the way, I think we should use now.
Apparently, we're all invisible.
I don't find that shit insulting at all. I actually think it's funny.
Real fast. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. Hire this man for the movies. That first half almost got me. Better talent than 90% of Hollywood. I agree.
Oh, no, he sold that very well. Keldrig, thank you so much. If you told me there was a real government program where they studied whether or not there were wheels go round and round, I'd believe you. Oh, absolutely. The kind of shit they waste our money on? Fuck. The BBC, not the actual broadcasting, but apparently they have their own outreach, which I love that their outreach is funded by my fucking money. But there's this BBC charity thing. Mad because they're taking our money. No, motherfucker, we're keeping my money.
That's the problem with a lot of these organizations that are whining. They feel entitled to the money. It's not their money, it's ours.
This is an offshoot of the British broadcasting company mad that they can't give out my money and pat themselves on the back for how generous they are.
Yeah, typical monarchist.
Fuck, man. I can't believe anybody.
King George loves it.
I can't believe anybody had the balls to write that.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all.
If you came out and said, hey, this is going to affect our thing because we do rely on this money, all right, I kind of get that. But so that you can do charitable things with my money, with your name, get fucked.
Did you see the former president of Nigeria give a little speech on this? And he said
the one who's like, quit whining, it's their money.
Yeah. It's not our money. We don't pay taxes in the United States.
Yep.
Like, they should reelect that guy. I don't care if he's corrupt.
At least he's being honest about it.
Yeah, and he's got some common sense, which is more than a lot of these pissant crybabies.
Thank you so much, Tyrai. I sent you the link to the guidance of the Privacy Act for 74 for your review in your DMs. I agree that people like to quote the name of the regulation, yet those rules don't exist in it. Yeah, I mean, one of the problems we have in our world, in our government world, Jack, is the misnaming of things, or people hearing the name and just thinking that means everything. And the example I'll give you there is the Refugee Act. Asylum seekers here in the United States, Jack, fall under the Refugees Act, which has very specific qualifications to be granted asylum in the U.S. And most of these people seeking asylum, literally just based on the country they're in, we can tell them no and send them away. Because for the refugee status to kick in, it has to be countries that are designated by the United States in certain ways.
Oh, that's so bigoted.
But just today, one of the dumbass Krasensteins, like, people who ask for asylum, that's legal. Like, all right, bitch, give me the legal precedent. Actually quote the parts of it that are relevant. Do it. I have read it.
How dare you question a Krasenstein?
And I know I talk about the Krasensteins are just like the perfect personification of the left.
Yeah, they're shady. They say dumb shit without knowing what they're talking about. They've been investigated for questionable activities, and I wouldn't trust them with money. So yeah.
You forgot defending a dad showering with his daughter way past the time it should have happened. And
uncomfortable sexual stuff with people of the playground.
Defending grown men being naked in public with their dick dangling in a child's face.
Yeah, they do seem to really like exposing it around the little ones.
I mean, it is amazing what the left stands for these days. But yeah, so people love to spout off these things. The Hatch Act is probably the most famous one they get wrong constantly, which I'm going to be honest, I'm shocked they haven't said it yet with Trump. I'm waiting because it's going to come. They must have claimed he violated the Hatch Act a dozen times when he was in office the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Which he is literally exempted from in the Hatch Act.
Well, you'd have to read it and just guess. It's fine.
Well, this problem happens online not even just in politics, not left, right, but just in general, where people will hear something and never check and just repeat it. If you know for sure, then by all means repeat it. But if you don't, look that shit up so you don't look like an idiot and I don't have to make fun of you.
And that's why I am starting the rumor that the Marshall Plan was in fact a grant by the government to foreign countries to have a leader of all parades.
Oh, I was going to go with to have like federal marshals around.
Nope, just a head of a parade. We're giving them free money for that. That's what the Marshall Plan is and was and forevermore shall be known as.
That makes sense. And they do love parades, so they will jump on board.
Right? And there'll be people that apply for it then.
Of course. I'm just so tired of watching all of these people. We spend way too much money on a ton of shit we shouldn't be spending money on.
Because absolutely.
Because some politician promised some group of constituents that he was going to give them our money. And so they get it without being checked, without any real. There was I think it was Prospero pointed it out. Somebody, I believe it was a congressman, was like, yeah, the Pentagon can't account for its money, but USAID was just audited 3 years ago.
So what? That doesn't mean they weren't spending the money on dumb shit. It just meant nobody cared 3 years ago.
Couple of things. One, a government agency only being audited every 3 years is unacceptable. And for the record, Jack, he's offended that it was done 3 years ago and they're already doing it again. So this was going to go even longer. In their world, they shouldn't have to check up on how our money's being spent more than once a decade.
Well, I mean, it's not really your money. It's the government's money they allow you to have.
Not 3 years ago, 3 months ago. Okay, then I correct everything I just said.
Still, if they want to go in and give a surprise audit, they're allowed to do that.
It's not that. It's what you pointed out when I first brought it up. You audited this 3 months ago and saw that our money was going to the BBC, and you were okay with that.
Yeah. They're probably trying to come up with more ways to give more of our money to our enemies and other freeloading parasites.
As bad as the fraud and waste is, you guys have to understand that a lot of this, passing the audit just means that they spent the money. They can show receipts showing, hey, we had to spend however many billions of dollars, and here's receipts for all of those billions of dollars. It doesn't mean it went to a good program.
Yeah.
Fauci could be audited for the NIH and yes, you did give out a grant to this one group. There, the money's accounted for. That one group, however, took that money and gave it to the Wuhan lab to do gain of function, which is illegal as fuck.
Oh, not in China. It's fine, right? That's how this works.
But in an audit, that looks perfect because, you have the receipt for that.
Real quick. Thank you, Tyrai. I've denied payment for people quoting regs for benefits that do not exist in that regulation. Those regulations are part of my job to know. And you're apparently doing your job, which is more than a lot of people seem to be doing. Thank you, Tyrai. And
that's awesome that she is. But the problem is there's a lot of regulations that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
That you might even disagree with, but legally it was fine. It's fucking insane. One of the problems that our government has is, again, I'm not trying to downplay the waste or the fraud that goes on, but the stuff that's actually allowed will fucking blow your mind.
Oh, it's crazy. Can you imagine the weird shit they rejected?
Right.
How insane was your proposal that a comic book about a drag queen got through and yours didn't?
And that's the problem. The whole idea is supposed to, because it is so horribly named. When you see it in print, it's USAID. It's USAID, and it's supposed to be for development.
It started out as USHIV, but it became
it's I see what you did there. And I was gonna say no, it's always been AIDS. The whole idea was to help push American values into other countries, which
they haven't done any of that. Unless
that's what the CIA did.
Yeah,
it worked in Ukraine. I don't want my money going to that shit. Especially, we're not talking about democracy or civil rights. No, we're talking about DEI and trans nonsense.
Yeah, bunch of random bullshit most people don't care about and don't want.
Uh-oh.
What?
Oh, I thought you cut off.
No, I just stopped talking.
Okay. Yeah, it's nonsense, and it's amazing. It's not just our spending; it's our whole fucking government. The power that they give to these unelected agencies, Jack, like the EPA, and how they can then decide that you on your own land can't do X, Y, and Z because of a fucking frog nobody's ever going to care about.
A gay frog.
We're saving the wetlands. No, I'm going to drain this swamp and make it so I can actually grow shit here. How about that?
Sounds dangerous and risky.
You know what swamps bring? Malaria. Like, hey, protect that super spreader area over there. I'm not the only one who knows that lots of blood diseases are spread by mosquitoes, am I?
No, that's why we don't allow standing water. Like, you can't have a big barrel of water sitting in your yard in most cities because mosquitoes will hang out there. Then you'll get the Aedes aegypti mosquito, and they spread yellow fever and malaria, among other things.
But if there's a swamp on your property, you can't clean that up because suddenly those mosquitoes are the most important. Oh, sorry, it's not the mosquitoes. It's the frogs. It's the lizards. It's the tiny little fish too small for even a cat to eat. And we need all this shit. Fine, get a fish tank. Do it in your house. But the EPA, on a whim, I'm sorry, they always have studies that tell them, what's important to do. This one's important because that guy over there who's never been right about anything in his life said it's true. We have to protect the wetlands. Swamps. They're called swamps. And fuck them. There's plenty of swampland that's uninhabited. We don't need more of it. We used to actually clean up swamps, Jack.
We used to do a lot of things, Monkey.
But we can't do that anymore because the entire eastern seaboard, if people tried building it today, they'd tell them no because it's all fucking swampland.
Yeah. A lot of Ohio was swampland that they drained and turned it into very good farmland.
No, can't do that anymore. There might be a fish that some assholes like, it's my favorite fish.
Yeah.
Swamp ass is not needed. Swamp ass was never needed, my friend. Never. Because swamps are unhealthy. Washington, D.C. was a swamp. Yeah. They're disease spreaders. You ever accidentally come up on a swamp? You're walking along and suddenly you get that smell. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh, there's a swamp nearby. Because they don't smell good, Jack. It's not like, when they're trying to save the forest. At least that is pretty and smells good. And no, you go into a swamp and it smells like somebody's shit all over the place. I've living in Virginia Beach, you will run into swamps when you're not meaning to. You're just walking along and suddenly, oh, gross.
Yeah. It's like finding a bog if you live in the UK.
It's nasty, but the EPA gets to tell you that you can't get rid of that on your land because Congress told them they had that power.
Yeah.
And if you try to fight it in court, all you'll do is waste money. And probably catch a couple of contempt charges along the way.
Yeah.
Don't worry, there'll be civil contempt. Our government is corrupt. In our laws are corrupted by these people. This is why the founders were so big on small government. Because you can't give these people this kind of power. They will abuse the shit out of it. Thank you so much, Dark Resurrect. My granddad lived down in Louisiana. They used to do treatments on the swamps down there to prevent mosquito overpopulation. It was a public health service to prevent disease, and they would also clean up the scum and trash. Now that doesn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
They-
There was a massive outbreak of yellow fever in the early 1800s. Mid 1800s, I guess. But it wiped out like so many people that Memphis evacuated everybody that could leave, including Jefferson Davis, because that's where he was living at the time. But that's why there's such a large black population in Memphis, because they were the only people that could afford to leave. So it was them and then like a bunch of clergymen. There were bodies all over the goddamn place, but the disease was spread by all the riverboats coming up from New Orleans. And New Orleans got it from where else? Havana. So yeah, that's why they do shit like that. That's why they have sewage lines underground too, by the way.
Thank you for that feminist donation. Yeah, when we lived in Virginia Beach, they used to spray like about once a year for mosquitoes. They just spray the whole fucking town.
Yeah, they do that around here every week or so during the summer.
We don't get that up here as much because you just don't have as many mosquitoes where I live now.
Yeah, it's colder up north.
Thank you, FL. Have you seen the shit coming out of Civ 7? Harriet Tubman as the leader for America, because that makes sense. I haven't paid much attention. I did watch the Spiffing Brits playthrough that he did where, oh, fuck, I forget. He played as Lafayette running the Holy Roman Empire. Or maybe it was just the Roman Empire. Maybe it was the Caesar Empire, which was fantastic.
Yeah, it's still funny.
I don't know why Harriet Tubman would be put in as a leader other than, because it would make more sense to have Frederick Douglass. At least he was somewhat of a statesman.
Yeah, and he knew Lincoln. So,
yeah.
I mean, they were friends. So
he was an educated man who gave. Yeah. So that's not taking anything away from Harriet. She
was an awesome spy for the North.
Yeah, she has a well-earned place in history, but
yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. Haven't they had Ben Franklin as an American leader?
Yeah, I think so. But a lot of people think he was president too.
A lot do because they're not smart.
Yeah. Same with Hamilton. Real quick though, thank you, Evolved Potato. You know, a lot of these mosquito transferred diseases aren't in Australia, but our government is letting Bill Gates release his genetically modified mosquitoes into my state to deal with those things that aren't here. It's also the most right-wing state. Well, congratulations, you're going to get new diseases. So, good luck.
For the record, Hamilton would have been president if he could have kept his dick in his pants.
And did get shot in the face.
No, by the time he got shot, his career was over.
Yeah, I always have faith in a good redemption arc, but
adultery in 1800s America is not a good thing to come out and write a long ass paper
about. Andrew Jackson's wife, she is a bigamist,
but she wasn't president.
Well, yeah, and he would challenge people to duels if they said anything about it.
Yeah, so
he was crazy.
It wasn't until Billy Clinton that a presidential candidate could get away with adultery
and rape.
Yeah. But adultery became mostly okay until Trump, and then suddenly it's a big deal again.
Yeah.
He cheated on his wife. You guys lost that high ground. You can't do that anymore.
I found a unredacted video of Maxine Waters yelling at that guard, and it's not what we thought it was.
Oh God, you have an AI video for me?
It's the last link. Elon released it himself. That security guard is seen in a much different light now.
Come on, hold your face up. Look out. Let them see you. Listen, Tim.
Did you see this part?
What's your name?
Did you see this part for real?
Yeah.
She's yelling at this man. Look at these people in their eyes. He don't have to look at them in the eye, you crazy bitch.
Tell him your name. Why? I want to be able to go home.
I'd have looked at her and told her, sing me It's a Man's World.
cop and get a brand new bag?
Give me that idea.
By the way, I love the song "It's a Man's World." I like me some James Brown, and I really did like him in well, he was just playing himself in Rocky IV. But Coming to America, if you've never done it, Jack, set an alarm clock to where that plays first thing in the morning for you. It is impossible to be in a bad mood that day.
I mean, yeah, I'd rather have Morris Day in the motherfucking time.
I love me some Morris Day.
I think they're more talented.
I'm a Prince fan. You had to know I like Morris
I
Day.
know.
Get them in the eye.
I just thought that was funny.
It is, yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
That
And that's
guy
how-
had to be feeling like that. Like, oh, come on, man. Just do
That
my
dude-
job.
He showed some surprising restraint.
They need to give that guy a raise. He earned his pay that day. He should get a bonus.
It reminds me of the cops that we saw during the 2020 riots, and every one of them, I'm like, hit him. I will back you up on this.
Right? Instead, they end up like forking out a big financial settlement.
Yeah.
The only issue I had with the cops at that was when they were driving around in that van and were shooting people at random. And then some guy shot at them with like a real gun because he didn't know they were cops because they're just in a white like Honda Odyssey.
Yeah.
And then they arrested him and tried to charge him with attempted murder of police officers.
He's like, no, this neighborhood's just so bad. I thought this was a drive-by.
Yeah, I thought I was getting shot at by a bunch of random people in a minivan. So that was the only issue I took. Otherwise, if anything, they were too restrained in Portland and Seattle, especially Seattle.
Oh, some of the shit those guys were doing to them, I don't know how they kept their cool.
I have no idea. It shows they have a well-trained police force if they have that much restraint. Because the urge to go out and beat the shit out of a bunch of hippies for throwing crap at you, that's really hard to hold back. Let me tell you.
Shit, not even the throwing. There were times where it was just them saying things to him, and this is why I can't be a cop, Jack, because I would have busted somebody's ass. I'd have taken my billy club out and beat them.
Yeah, Billy Club.
Because these little assholes, they were literally asking for it.
Oh my god, yeah. The cops at the federal buildings too.
Yeah,
dude, they knew they were locked in there. I mean, if they'd gotten through the fence, gotten into the building, there's a good chance somebody would have got killed.
well, they tried to burn that building down twice.
Oh yeah. Plus, when they would throw pallets over and try and light those on fire.
Yeah.
So I would say it was probably closer to 30 times they were trying to burn that building down. They're just really bad at it.
Remember when they put the wood around the building and they tried lighting that wood on fire?
Yeah.
And they couldn't figure out how to do it. Thank God they're not very smart with accelerants.
Well, they're very lazy people in Antifa, so they were never Boy Scouts, thankfully.
I would like to talk to the person who's like, hey, they're trying to burn down this building. I think we should wrap it in wood.
Yeah, it seemed like a poor plan. That's a lot of that's a lot of government thinking and not a lot of like practical thinking.
Yeah, the nonsense from that. God, I miss it. I miss it. They were so stupid.
Oh no, the dumb shit they would say. I miss all the people walking around talking, like Arex and that dumb guy that got hit in the nuts with the pepper ball. Those guys were hilariously stupid, and they talked to other hilariously stupid people.
As I really want to see tomorrow Maxine Waters back there and her to start some shit and get shot in the cooter with a pepper ball.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
I feel like that would be the pinnacle of my life outside of having children and grandchildren, would be watching Maxine Waters take a pepper ball to the T-Watt.
It would definitely rank up there in the events of my life so far that I thought were hilarious.
We would do a whole show where all we did is replay that video over and over for 8 hours. It would be the longest stream ever. I would do a 26-hour long stream watching that. Okay. Anyway, yeah, fuck these idiots. We need to get in there. Why? What are you going to do? That one of them even says, we can go to the desk and what? Demand a manager? Fuck off.
Yeah, look, lady, building's closed. Okay, you can't go in. According to what was it CBS? I think I was watching was reporting. Trump is already sending out pink slips to most of the staff.
Good.
There's only going to be 300 people left at USAID.
Good. Fuck
Out of
them.
I think they said 14,000.
Let them go get real jobs.
Yeah, fuck off. You guys are wasting our money on frivolous dumb shit. This agency needs shut down. They have to have an act of Congress, apparently, to shut it down, which I don't believe. But Marco Rubio could fire anybody he wants and just keep essential staff.
They can, okay, to technically get rid of it all the way, it would take an act of Congress. But what they could do instead is just not spend any of the money, and then it just goes right back into the treasury.
Yeah. Yeah, gut the staff until it's incapable of functioning.
I said go back into the treasury. That's not exactly how it works. We just won't have to take out credit for it.
Yeah, we won't have to borrow any money from China.
So yeah, you can do that easily. And again, this is where the Chevron deference is going to be an issue. But because Congress is so, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Lazy?
Douchey.
Oh.
Cowardly. Lazy's
definitely.
good too. Unless the stuff is specifically laid out, then yeah, the director gets to go. We're not spending money on that.
Yeah.
So
if they fall into the State Department, so Marco Rubio is actually the one that got to shut them down to for the review and whatnot, because Doge doesn't actually have power. Elon can't go in and fire these guys.
No, he can just make
Secretary of State has to.
Yeah, he can make recommendations.
Yeah, and Trump just has to call up Marco and say, "Hey, this is what I want done," and Marco's like, "Okay."
I do need to report, sadly, that Big Balls has been fired, Jack.
I heard.
Poor Big Balls made some bad tweets. He said some off-color things. And here's the thing. I'm not going to defend Big Balls because I don't know the context. And one of the things he said was, I was racist before it was cool. Which to me sounds like an edgy joke.
Yeah, that's some edgelord shit.
But it could also be he's a Fuentes fan. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah. But, I mean, we're talking about guys in their, mid-20s and younger for the most part.
Yeah, he's 25.
25, yeah. So, yeah, come on. When did he say that? Was he 17 when he said it? Was he in high school?
I didn't read because the Wall Street Journal is the one that breaks the story about his bad tweets. But I didn't read that one. I read other stories that were talking about it. So I have no idea if they actually gave the time frame from when it was posted or not.
Chat's saying that he got rehired.
I saw that Elon puts out a tweet with a poll asking if he should rehire Big Balls. And JD Vance retweeted it, saying that, of course, what he said was horrific, but we can't let reporters get away with tearing people down. I was like, damn. Yeah, JD don't give a fuck. He's right. Trump's VP. He can say whatever the fuck he wants now.
Right. If there's no room for redemption, you're never going to have a functional society. Because eventually people are going to make mistakes and they have to be forgiven for them if they honestly want to change. Maybe this kid said this a decade ago and he's sitting out in the living room typing it on Facebook or something. And he's like, haha, mom's not looking. I'm going to say I'm racist.
Well, I can see, okay, especially with the area we're in now. Coming out and saying I was racist before it was cool, you could use that to mean I was called racist back in 2016 when people who are now embracing it were doing everything they can to say that they're not racist.
Yep.
Repeating shit I said back then that they're now willing to embrace. So if that was the context, then there's no problem with what he said.
Yeah, especially because they call everybody racist over the
Yes.
most trivial bullshit. So it really depends on what time frame this happened in.
Context matters. One of the things that they're really mad about him saying is that he wouldn't care if Gaza and Israel were both wiped off the map. And that is not an illegal position to hold. It's not even an uncommon one for a lot of Americans.
No, because nobody gives a fuck about foreign stuff when they're like trying to do their basic survival.
We're tired of our attention being put over in this hellhole that has been at war with each other for 1,400 fucking years over two fucking religions that aren't actually that important here in America. Yep. Sorry, Jews, you guys are not that big of a block.
Yeah, your weird old blood feud doesn't have anything to do with us. Leave us out of it. Settle
it yourselves. Now I can look at that situation and go, of the two, Israel's better than the other one. Sorry, when your book literally says I can rape your wife if I beat you in a war, in front of you, you're the worst. I'm just saying.
Yeah, would appear that way, especially with their weird predilection for 9-year-olds.
I really don't give a shit about the Middle East and the shit going on there. Frankly, Britain never should have gave all that land back up. They should have developed it and raped its resources and colonized the fuck out of it. I know now I can never work for Doge, but it's not even that bad of a thing for him to have said. And be like, look, he said he hopes they both get wiped off. You don't really care. Stop pretending you do. Can we just, we're Americans. If you're in the rest of the world, you already know this. We don't really care about you any more than you really care about us.
It's like that John Hamm meme from Mad Men where the guy stops from the elevators like, I think about you all the time. And Ham looks at him and goes, I don't think about you at all.
Yeah. It's not being mean. You guys have your own problems. We have our own problems. And if something bad happens to you, I will wish you guys the best and hope you guys get through it well, like I know you guys would do for us. But other than that, I don't give a fuck. I got shit in my country to worry about. And fuck, Jack, I am 50 years old. You know how long I've been hearing about we need a 2-state solution? It's literally been a thing my entire life.
It hasn't worked at all.
Yeah. For 50 years, this shit has been going on in my lifetime. And it started, 40 years before that?
Yeah.
And then if you really want to get to it, it actually started 1,400 years before. One of my favorite things I've seen lately, Jack, is until Israel became a state, the Jews and the Muslims in the area got along very well.
Yeah, because there were no Jews in the area.
Like, you mean after they drove them all out? I mean,
they drove them all to Europe? Yeah.
No, that's nonsense. This is like you just said, it is old blood feud shit. It's the Hatfields and McCoys without the incest. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, there's a lot of incest in there, but those tribes, they don't really branch out.
That people are offended that an American would have the opinion that it's just being dismissive of what's going on. They could both be wiped off the planet and I wouldn't care. How dare you not? And I really would like to see the context of all of these. Because look, the guy might be a fucking dirty shitbag, Jack. I don't know. But I know the press well enough not to just take him at their word.
Right? Because they've lied to us 1 billion times in the last 10 years.
These are the people who still repeat, Donald Trump said good people on both sides, knowing damn good and well they're lying.
Of course they do. They don't care. They want the lie to be true. They believe their own bullshit.
I don't know if Big Balls is a bad guy or not, but here's the thing. Even if he actually is horrible and racist, does that mean he can't do the coding job he was hired for?
Right.
How come How come it's perfectly okay, not only for people to be racist, but to be openly racist as long as it's against the right groups, which, by the way, include against Asians. Remember the end Asian hate bullshit?
Well, until they figured out that it was a bunch of black perpetrators punching Asians. That went away real fast.
You didn't see that Stop Asian Hate movement going to Harvard and protesting that they were keeping Asians who deserved a spot out.
Oh, no. Then they're white adjacent.
Yeah. So it's not just against white people. They'll just call, I mean, this is a group of people who've literally called black men the new white people.
Welcome aboard, black guys.
Wait till you get to experience our privilege. You'll be underwhelmed.
Yeah, you're gonna be very underwhelmed.
It's you can be perfectly openly racist and in Congress, and it's fine. As long as you're racist against the right groups. These are people who are like, we have to get these black men and these Latino men, calling every Latino man out there a sexist, racist piece of shit because they didn't vote for Kamala. But how dare anybody say it, even a racist joke, Jack, because then that means you hate and can't have a job ever again.
No, never again. You need to be blackballed from society.
I hate these people. But that's who's running the country, Jack. The people running our country are openly racist. And nobody cares. The news media is losing their shit over a guy who had a handle called Big Balls. Shocked that he said edgy shit. But they have no problem with, Sheldon Whitehouse belonging to a whites-only beach club.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Nothing to see here.
I think that Elon should rehire Big Balls so that everywhere he goes, he can play the AC/DC song.
Nice. Jack, you ever gone to an account and seen that it was named something like Big Balls or D's Nuts or anything like that and expected anything but edgy humor?
No, never. If you do, you're an idiot.
I just hate these people and their selective outrage. And the funny part is they are trying so desperately to make this Doge thing something the public gives a shit about. And all they keep doing is reminding people that they're cutting wasteful spending. I have yet to see any grassroots push to stop Elon from going in the treasury. There was a judge who signed an order saying that Elon can't have access to the information on the Treasury Department's computers.
Yeah.
They were checking code. They weren't reading fucking... Yes, he's out there getting all your social security numbers so he can sell them to the Krasensteins.
Still safer with Elon than with the government.
They were literally doing a code review. And I've seen these tech bros shouldn't be in there. Who should be doing the code review? The fired reporters? Did they finally learn to code?
They did.
It's just nonsensical. They're trying so hard to drum up outrage over this. That's why you saw those idiots at the Treasury Department today. At the Education Department. They don't give a shit about education. They're trying to. This is a grassroots thing, Jack. Led by members of Congress.
Totally grassroots and organic.
Totally grass.
Totally.
Did you see the size of the crowd there?
It didn't look very big from what I saw of it.
It was maybe 20, 25 people, and they were members of Congress. And they're trying to stir up outrage because they know outrage sells, except for it's not anymore because they do not control the narrative anymore, which is why they hate it. Did you watch much of the Democratic vote the other day when they, voted in David Hogg?
Just little bits and pieces of it that I saw online, not the whole thing.
A part we didn't talk about is at the very beginning, as the candidates for their office Surprised they just didn't pick them. Isn't that the Democratic way these days?
Usually, yeah.
They have the Democrats on stage, and the current DNC chief at the time asked them all a question. He says, who here thinks that racism and sexism played a part in Kamala losing? And every one of them raised their hand. Every one of them.
Well, they are that out of touch, so.
And one of them, it might have even been David Hogg, is like motioning to the audience to raise their hands. Because apparently the question was for everybody in the room, even though it was directed at the people on stage.
Wow.
Yeah. They don't learn. And I was having a discussion with Prospero on this, and I'm not speaking out of turn. This wasn't in DMs. You can go read it. But she made the comment. I forget what exactly the thing was. I'll bring it up and we can see it. But she said that they didn't think that they'd get caught. And when it comes to Democrats, I don't think that these people don't think they'll get caught with their nonsense. I think the problem with them is that they know if they do get caught, the press will cover for them. There will be no outrage. So they don't even try not to hide shit. Why would they? That's just excess work.
True.
When you can sit around and pull the same bullshit and nobody's going to call you on it, what's the point of even trying to hide it? If you can cheat on your wife and she's not going to give you any shit for it, are you really going to make sure that you only pay for the hotel in cash? You're going to Jerry Springer that shit and pay with a check. I still can't believe that man paid for a prostitute with a check.
Come on, man. That's the most legendary thing he's ever done. His name will live in infamy forever for that.
See, that's how you should have a good revival, though. If you do something to fuck up your career, like, for those who don't know, Jerry Springer was the mayor of Cincinnati, and they bust this brothel, and they find a check signed by the mayor. Whoopsie.
Shit hanging on the wall.
So he ends up losing his career, but then he reinvents himself as a talk show host that has people throw chairs at each other. That's where somebody who pays for a whore with a check belongs.
Yeah, he found his way to shine.
It's just amazing to me. I mean, and I really do. I respect his comeback from that. And frankly, I don't think prostitution should be illegal anyhow. So I don't see the big deal. Some dude wants to pay for some chick who wants to sell it. I don't care.
She's not selling it. She's renting it.
As long as it's not, a Tate situation.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, speaking of Tate, I don't know if do you know the name Wes Watson?
Not offhand, no.
It's this midget little motherfucker who pretends to be a man and rents women and cars to make other men jealous. We're not women. Could you guys stop acting like women?
Apparently not.
But this little midget motherfucker who's clearly taken, let's call them performance enhancements, he's put out this open call that if anybody wants to step up to him, come on, because I'm manly.
Man.
Well, somebody did it at a gym, stepped up to him, and the guy does push him a little bit, which, by the way, is assault, and the guy should be charged with assault for that.
That's a battery.
A battery. Tomato. And I know it's actually monkey. Shut up. Before you get to the actualies, go call my manager, okay?
Yeah. It's under 1-800 don't give a fuck.
But this guy gives him a little push, and then they break apart a little bit. And they're just jawing at each other. And this West dude takes a weightlifting belt and starts beating this guy in the face with it.
Jesus Christ.
And then him and his boys, because he's manly and needs his little fags to help him fight, all jump on this guy and just beat the fuck out of him.
That's a fair fight.
They did a count. He ends up punching this guy in the head, mostly in the back of the head, like 42 times.
Jesus.
He's been arrested.
Charged, right?
Yes, he's been arrested for it, and his lawyer claims self-defense.
No,
Self-defense.
that's
Hang
all
on.
above and beyond. Sorry.
Self-defense, stand your ground, and what's the terminology for it? Where there's laws where you're allowed to agree to fight each other.
Oh, mutual combat.
Mutual combat. Thank you. Yeah, that's what he's claiming.
You can't have all of those.
I went and watched. Yeah, how do you have mutual combat and stand your ground? Those don't go together.
I guess throw everything at the window and see what sticks.
Sounds a little violent. Little. The motherfucker's 5'8". I had to laugh when I saw that. Like, oh, he's got Napoleon syndrome.
He's just a little fella.
But that's what happens when you use performance enhancing shakes. Just saying. Yeah, that motherfucker's going to go to prison over that shit. All they got to do is play that whole video for a jury, and he's going to prison.
That sounds like some attempted murder shit.
Yeah, it was
gang of people like that.
If you're going to get into a fight, I believe in a fair fight. If you need your boys to jump in, you should just take your ass whipping like a man. Because when you have your boys jump in, you're just a pussy. Who is this guy? He's one of those manospherian shitbags who wants you to think he's manly and give him money. He charges people $6,000 a month for his coaching, Jack.
Jesus.
For him to teach you how to be a little manlet piece of shit on performance enhancing drugs. Allegedly. That's why his neck's as wide as his fucking ears. It's a dead giveaway, you fucking muscle bound morons. No, I totally grew this way. Your neck used to look like a pencil, and now it's bigger than your head, and that was just chin-ups, right?
Totally.
You remember the back of comic books, that Atlas guy? What was his name?
Charles Atlas.
Do you remember how he had big rippling muscles like a comic book? No, wait. The muscles were mostly smooth because that's the natural way of your body building.
Yeah.
You have to do something to get that weird, almost
the veins.
Not just the veins, but the square look.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm totally a Roblox character. My dad was Minecraftian.
Minecraftian? That sounds like some weird German sex thing. Minecraftian.
Okay, we got to talk about this retard. I don't know I think this is a biological chick. I don't care, honestly. But the trans thing's going to come up, so thought I'd get that out of the way. But they are upset about trans things, Jack.
What?
Yeah, I know.
It's Women and Girls in Sports Day. I'm seeing lots of posts. I'm seeing people saying things like protect girls in sports. And
this is not on 2X. I'm guessing they're from Michigan because fuck.
Well, it's really cold, so you got to say it really fast.
I don't know. I appreciate it, but I feel bad for the audience who doesn't speak Michiganese.
Yeah, it does make it harder.
Anyway.
The posts. I'm seeing people saying things like protect girls in sports. And I'm like, I agree. And then I think for a second, oh, I hope they're not just talking about cis girls.
You mean girls? Girls. They're called girls. You don't have to add anything to that to let us know that they're female anymore. I hope they're not just talking about cis girls. Well, one, that's what they're talking about. Because the whole protect women in sports is to keep guys from beating on them in sports. I do love that we've made beating women an actual sport.
Yeah, it's kind of hot. I mean, what?
And I don't know. And the uncertainty is scaring me. And that uncertainty, of course, stems from the fact that this administration is normal.
The uncertainty scares you. Imagine a guy hitting on a chick at a bar. You think it's scary to read about shit.
And that uncertainty, of course, stems from the fact that this administration is normalizing the erasure of trans people. But I hate.
Nobody's being erased. You just don't get special treatment.
That's erasure to spoiled entitled people.
I love these people who are like, you can't erase me. Nobody's trying, asshole. Even if we all came out and said trans isn't a thing, you still exist. Why do you need me to tell you you exist for you to exist?
Manifestation. You have to speak it into existence.
Hate the fact that I can't just enjoy celebration of women's sports without thinking to myself that maybe this is an exclusive statement and not an inclusive one like it should be. And if
oh my God, you have too much free time on your hands, lady.
The term women is inclusive of women. It doesn't include dudes in a dress.
Oh, you bigot.
We're not talking about some club you want to start. We're talking about a biological reality, dummy. But I do have to agree. I hate that when we're talking about women in something, that I don't know that we're talking about what she termed cis women. Because it used to be when we said women, everybody understood, oh, that person has a vagina. And now we have to be like, I don't see a definitive Adam's apple. It can go either way.
Let's roll the dice on this one.
I do hate that, but not for the reason this idiot does.
If that's how I feel as a cis woman, imagine how the trans women feel right now.
You need to complete that sentence. Cis white woman. Because Jack, you realize that we've literally made, I was thinking about this because of another conversation. Prospero, I love talking to Prospero because we have good conversations. We've literally made your feelings the most important thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And because of that, these people now being told you don't get special treatment because you throw on a dress are reacting just like the people would if they were 5 and you treated them like this, because we're treating them like they're 5.
Yeah.
And actually, you shouldn't treat your 5-year-old like their feelings are the most important thing either, because that's detrimental to them. But we're handling them with the most brittle kitty gloves. They're little Fabergé eggs that if we give them reality, they might just crack the fuck open all over.
That's why we must protect them from reality at all costs, Monkey.
The dose of reality these people need might OD, you know?
I understand how you could feel that way, but let's face it, these people need to be put in a special group home in the Village from the movie The Village, so they don't experience the outside dangers because they're too far gone. We're not going to save this retard. This person's going to have a nervous breakdown before they're 35.
That's a man. She claims to be a cis woman, and she has a feminine voice and mostly feminine features. Those look more like girl fingers than man fingers. Which, by the way, Wendigoon, stop showing your fingers on video because you have girly fingers, dude. And
yeah, he needs
distracting.
to shave that beard too.
No. Have you seen him without his beard?
No. The mustache. Sorry.
Yeah, the mustache he needs to shave. Either put the beard back or get rid of the mustache.
Yeah, because that pedo stash is not helping your image, dude. I would totally call the cops if you were in my neighborhood. There's a suspicious guy driving a panel van around.
I've never seen somebody with a mustache like that because it's really thin in the middle and then gets really wide at the edge.
Yeah, it's weird.
And it's not like he's trimmed it down, because I've seen guys who, just keep a really thin pencil mustache. He's clearly not doing that. That's how it naturally grows. And don't do that, man.
Yeah, it's just either stick to the full beard or shave it off and look like you're 12 and have a big head.
Yeah, it works for us sometimes.
Works for some people, not everyone. And even then, at least he won't look like a predator.
Right.
Real quick, though. Thank you, Bigot Wolfgang Deo. That's a dude. By the way, transgender, or I can't say the other word, the T word, is wrong. They are not doing anything more than plastic surgery. If they are not changing their actual sex, then they're just altering their appearances and not the fundamental plumbing and everything else.
Well, even I would disagree with you on that, because even having the surgeries doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
All you've done is mutilate your body.
Irreparably, too.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen, there were a couple people posting pictures of things gone wrong.
And
oh my God, it was horrific.
No, you ever see the South Park where Mr. Garrison gets his sex change?
Yeah.
They actually show footage of a sex change operation in there, and it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
However, it is funny that when they submitted that to Comedy Central, that specific clip was much, much longer just to fuck with the censors.
Yeah. They'll let us have some of it. We just have to go way overboard. Thank you, Evolved Potato. I have to make a correction on the new Australian law and how it's now illegal to offend someone based on their race, religion, sexuality, or etc. It actually includes political opinions. Yep, you can be charged for offending someone because of their politics. How much you want to bet that only goes one direction?
Well, what you guys need to do is get a grassroots movement together and hire your own Trump and use it against them.
Yeah, find yourself a nice harbor, get some crates of tea, and chuck it right in there while you're dressed as Indians.
Yep. No, for them, they'd have to dress as Aborigines.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have to dress like Abos.
You're going to need some really weird floppy titties in your costume.
Shoe polish. Maybe you'll have to huff from some cans of petrol beforehand. I don't know. Maybe throw petrol in the bay or something. I don't know.
All right, back to our weird freak here who's her feelings, Jack.
No, feelings.
Trans women athletes. And that's why it's so important that the three groups that I listed earlier, the women's sports media organizations, I've not seen one major women's sports media company speak out today.
Because nobody cares. They care about money, not you.
They didn't speak out for the guys? Weird. I am fine. I'm glad that men are finally getting recognition. It's just sad that they have to dress as women to get it.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be male privilege?
It would be. But nobody cares about International Men's Day. But on International Women's Day, they all make sure to tell us how much they like trans women.
True.
In order for men to get recognition on one of the international days, we have to dress like women. Ain't that some shit?
I mean, it's always something, isn't it?
Speak out. Take a stance against this. Stand up for trans women and trans girls. These are trans children who just want to play on the same team as their friends, and they can't.
No, they want to shower with girls.
Speak out. Take a stance against this. Stand up for trans women and trans girls. These are trans children.
Trans women and trans girls are trans children?
Yes. Well, mentally, maybe.
I feel like that's not true.
I feel like she's saying they're like incompetent.
I mean, I'd kind of give her that. That guy who was rubbing himself, walking around naked in the girls' locker room, was he just hanging out with his friends?
That was not me, for the record. Yes, he was just hanging out with his lady friends. They were going to play the game of hide the sausage.
And then those girls got in trouble for changing in the family bathroom, or it was one of the bathrooms they were changing in individually because they were afraid to go in the locker room. They're like, how dare you not let him rub his penis in front of you?
Right? Bigots.
How dare you be sexist to girls that way?
Right? He was just going to use his lady juice to lube you up. He was going to caress your sunburn.
Let me ask you this, ladies out there, because there's a few in the audience. And God bless you for watching this show. You guys are amazing.
You guys put up with a lot.
If you're in the locker room and there's a biological woman walking around naked, rubbing her vagina, would you be comfortable with that? Because let me tell you, Jack, if I go into a locker room and there's a dude in there rubbing his dick, there's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, serious one. If I go into a locker room and see some lady volleyball players rubbing themselves, though, I'm going to be like, this is a trap.
That's different. Somebody walking around rubbing their genitals, and I don't care if it's trans or what, in a locker room, that alone should get them kicked out.
You would think so, but they were just oiling up their tuck game. I don't know. There's always an excuse. Not a reason, an excuse.
I don't know about you ladies, but in the men's locker room, it's not really accepted to be walking around naked all the time. You get naked, take your shower, get your clothes back on. And if you're the weird guy who doesn't know that, stop hanging out in the locker room naked.
Yeah, you're like those weird sauna dudes.
Yeah. Put on a towel, for fuck's sake. Wrap it around your waist. It's not that hard. But even those guys, the weirdos who walk around naked, aren't rubbing themselves.
Thankfully.
How do we get to a point in society where you're defending somebody clearly just masturbating in front of girls in a girls' locker room?
Oh, it's not masturbating. It's some accepted trans societal norm. It's like a ritual they do.
Checking for lumps.
Yeah. It's like a breast exam because they can't get pap smears. Remember, the doctors turned them down and got sued.
How is this allowed?
Because they want to defend every form of degeneracy. Real quickly, though, thank you, Tyrai. Men dressing up as women for International Women's makes me think of the beginning of a Monty Python sketch. Yeah, they would be called transgender now, even though they were just doing it for a bit of cheeky fun.
All right, that's a weird kissy face she's making. I feel assaulted. I'm calling the police.
I'm kind of into it, except for her downsy eyes. She's got the fish eyes going on.
She's got very sharp features.
Yeah, very. I'd give it to me.
But she's got like sharp lines, but still feminine. That is not something you see very often.
Goodbye, horses. Oh, sorry. Think of something else.
Up for trans women and trans girls. These are trans children.
No, they're not.
Who just want to play on the same team as their friends and they can't anymore. Professional athletes, college athletes, reporters, influencers, anybody who has a platform that benefits or talks about women's sports, take a stance against this because that is who we are. We speak up. That is what we do in women's sports. And there should.
In women's sports, we speak up for men playing our sport. That's a weird hill to die on, if I'm being honest.
Well, they need to get more viewers, and the only way is to get people that are good at it.
I just don't understand how they don't understand. It's I genuinely don't get these people. Because even if we're giving you the dysphoria shit, I know I really do believe I'm a woman. Okay, don't you have more respect for women to understand that would make them uncomfortable?
No, because most of the time they want to go in and make women uncomfortable or do dirty things with them.
Let's be honest, because I mean, before all this shit blows up, the percentage of the trans population is less than 0.03%.
Yeah, and then a bunch of dudes were like, "Oh, I could be around women this way." What's up, ladies?
Then you get high schools where they're doing polls, and it's not the teacher doing polls, and it's 20%. You have a whole bunch of people who are looking for acceptance. You have a whole bunch of people who are just perverts. For many of them, it's just a fetish. You see these 50-year-old dudes who throw on a bad wig and an ugly dress, and like, I'm totally a woman. That's just a fucking fetish.
Yeah. Or they're creepers. That's the only thing it could be is fetish or creepy or a combination of.
Yeah. You want to do your creepy shit, do it at home. Nobody needs to see that shit. It's not society's problem. Keep your freak behind a door where I don't have to see it.
My mom.
Be as freaky as you want to be legally in your own fucking home. Stop putting it out into. We saw this with the pride parades like 2 or 3 years ago when they were trying to say kink is part of my identity.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to hide my kink. It's part of my identity. It might be part of your identity, but it's not a part I need to know about.
Well, if you don't know about it, you're a bigot.
No, what makes me a bigot is finding out about it, because then I'm like, that's fucked up. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell you how fucked up you are if you'd stop telling me how fucked up you are. I'm just pointing it out.
Well, Mr. Bigotry.
And I love that. You know what's funny? I mean, she does kind of have a point that Trump has come out and done, the no girls being beat up by guys in girls' sports. And it wasn't the backlash that it would have been 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago, you would have seen white women literally crucifying themselves over this shit.
Well, it's not pumpkin spice season yet, so give it time.
What has been amazing to me about the Trump stuff so far, and especially the pushback, is how little pushback there's been. They're trying desperately. They really are. The powers that be, little weirdos on TikTok, but it's not really taking off in the public mind. We're not seeing an upswell like we saw with BLM or even with the trans movement as it starts out. Mostly people are like, shut up, we don't care. Shut up. You shouldn't be beating up on girls.
I think people are getting tired of it.
I mean, Title IX was literally so that girls could play sports because they can't compete with the boys and they weren't getting the funding to do it. And so like, no, you have to let the girls play too. And then the boys were like, can I show my dick to them in the locker room? I am quite surprised and proud of men. I just want to say that. I'm proud of you men out there because they've given us an easy way to just walk around with our dicks out in front of women. And typically that'd be something we do to be funny. And you guys didn't fall for it. And good job.
It required a lot of restraint. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie, but so far so good.
Good. Stop me from using the Target girls' bathroom.
You're not my mom. I'm never stopping that till they tell me I can't do it anymore.
That whole thing itself, the bathroom debate, was so stupid.
Well, if they would clean the bathrooms equally, I would agree. But the women's bathroom at Targets are always nicer.
This was over a child wanting to go into, it was a female who identified as male, wanting to use the men's bathroom. Why she can't pee in a woman's bathroom like she's always done, I don't know.
Because her parents are ideologues. Just like the vegan cat, dude.
Yeah.
You know.
But the argument then became, no, you can't tell children they can't peep. Whether that was their intended message or not, is what they told them.
Yeah.
And you had all of these companies jump on board. We're like, didn't even the state of North Carolina come out and say, yeah, you can do it here. You guys all got on board with dudes hanging out in girls' faces where they're vulnerable and either naked in a locker room or got their pants literally around their ankles in the bathroom, Jack.
Yep.
What could possibly go wrong there?
I mean, it's not like Loudoun County had sent a message about how that could go horribly wrong. You're just supposed to take it, ladies. Look, men make better women than you, okay? Just accept it. You had your time in the sun, and the feminist movement now belongs to men.
If you want to call yourself a chick, I don't care, but we should not be forced to play along with your delusion.
Yeah, if you want to do that, fine, but don't make me play.
And this all goes back to feelings. I'm so tired of feelings. I blame psychology and women for this because you guys and your goddamn feelings. We saw it with that lady we just watched. I feel like, have you tried thinking instead of feeling? Have you ever started a sentence, I think, and actually meant it? Everybody says these, I feel like, I feel. And it just started as a weird kind of shift in the language. But I really do think that I really do think that most of these people are talking about their feelings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people are caught up in their fifis.
I mean, it's the AOC thing, right? Some people would rather be factually correct than morally right. Well,
yeah.
Why don't you want to be factually correct? She said it as an insult, Jack.
Yeah.
Being factually correct, you silly sausage. Fuck, I might have been watching too much of this Biffing Brit. Why? What? English people in the audience, what's with that silly sausage thing? Was there like a cartoon you guys watched as a kid?
I bet it was Banana Man.
That sausage and Banana Man, yeah, that's very phallic.
Yeah, Banana Man, he was on during Danger Mouse a lot.
Yeah, where does the British saying silly sausage come from, and why do so many of you use it? We Americans have stuff like that. I mean, fucking moron is something we say a lot.
Doom says it all the time.
I still said it before him. One, I'm older than he is. I guarantee you I said fucking moron before he did. I was like 10 the first time I said that shit.
Well,
that's probably actually true too. We had a agreement amongst the kids that as long as the parents weren't around, we could swear all we wanted and nobody would tell. We had horrible mouths, Jack. Do all siblings do that, or are some of the siblings assholes?
I don't know.
Silly sausage is just a polite way of saying stupid people. Oh no, or stupid fucker. I understand what it means.
Yeah, it's like this when the South when they say, "Oh, bless his heart."
Yeah, I'm just curious how you guys got silly sausage.
Because they couldn't say he's a right Long John Thomas.
It's a nicer way of saying you little shit. Yeah, see, you guys should just be more honest and just call them little shits. Speaking of little shits, Jack, went to the store today. And
a little shit?
No, just ran into a bunch of them.
Oh, fair enough.
Most of the time that Lady Monkey goes shopping and I go with her, it's early in the morning. There's not a lot of people there. It's been a while since I've been in the store, and it was pretty packed. Everybody in that fucking store was just rude.
Oh, that's not cool.
This one bitch parks her cart in the middle of the aisle and just stretches her body to look at shit on a bottom shelf and stands there for like 5 minutes. There's literally no way around this bitch with another cart.
What asshole.
And like, get the fuck out of the way. Move your cart over there.
No, you can't make me.
This one lady, I'm walking to get some hot dogs, and I'm literally against the door as close as I could get to without actually touching it with my shoulder. And this bitch in a cart is driving right towards me to where I had to get out of her way at the door I needed because she needed to stay going in a straight line. And she goes all the way to the end of the aisle. She didn't even stop anywhere. It is amazing how much I don't say go fuck yourself when I go to Walmart.
Yeah. Well, people are getting worse too.
Oh, they're so fucking rude.
Yeah, it's not getting any better out there. There's no sense of consequence anymore. They used to throw people out of the store for being assholes. They don't do that anymore. So they're not afraid of anything because there's never any consequences for anything.
And now you understand the term silly sausage. No, these were fucking bitches. Ugh. This one dude was creepily just wandering around the cart, and Lady Monkey had her purse kind of up.
Yeah.
And I see her just wandering like there's nothing going on. And I'm watching this dirty little fucker the whole time. And then afterwards, I'm like, I'm not moving from this spot until that guy goes away. And told her why. And she goes, oh, I didn't even notice. I'm like, oh, God, I got to go with you every time now.
Yeah.
My stranger danger alarm went off as soon as I saw that motherfucker. And yeah, I bet you somebody's purse got snatched today at Walmart.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. He was staying to the one side of the cart that her purse was on, no matter what aisle we were in. This dude followed us for like 3 aisles. I'm like, you're not even slick, man. I hate people. No, but the little shit one, we're walking down the aisle and there's another cart coming the other way. And both of us are going at a steady clip. And this fucking little piece of shit kid, he couldn't have been 10 or more, just cuts in between and just kind of stops and waves his mom through. Who was behind us?
Yeah, I would not tolerate that for a fucking second.
I was with Lady Monkey, and I do not cause problems when Lady Monkey's there.
You are much more polite than I am.
She doesn't like when I get in fights. And I beat that little kid's ass. No, his fat little mom waddled behind him. And then we all ended up having to stop to let this bitch go through. And then she gets in front of us and just stops. So now we have to wait for the other lady to come through so we can go around Tubby because she couldn't just wait. She wasn't even going that fast. I hate these people. Why are people like this?
I don't know, man.
Where did common decency go?
It's been gone for a while.
Let me go off on another fucking rant about Walmart. You fucking lazy pieces of shit who go online and order your stuff and have some poor bastard making Walmart wages go around the store and collect the shit you need and then deliver it to you at your car. Go fuck yourselves, you lazy shitbags. And you Walmart employees who do this, stop taking up the whole fucking aisle with your stupid cart. Stay on the same side of the aisle as the product that you know where it's at every time we go there. Today was, so Lady Monkey wants to get soda. We have, big deal in our house coming up on Sunday, getting all the stuff for it. And she wants to get some soda. And this bitch parks right in front of the soda Lady Monkey needs.
Oh, of course.
And she's not even getting any shit from right there.
She's probably half an aisle down, right?
No, it was across the aisle.
Oh.
And then she gets what she needs and she puts it on her cart. And then she just stands there looking at her little handheld. And Lady Monkey's clearly waiting to get there. This bitch doesn't say a word.
Oh, she didn't care.
Oh, I fucking hate these people. But then the biggest mistake I made today, Jack.
Oh, no.
I'm very nice to cashiers. Always am. I'm very polite, friendly. I'm a charismatic guy. I got to be the center of attention. Please look at me. But the cashier there was very quiet, seemed down. So I was just making conversation. And at some point, I don't know what I said, but I turned on the on switch.
Uh-oh.
And her mouth just starts. And not only does she mouth, at one point, she sees that we're getting special treats for Phoebe. And so she starts telling us about how her cat tries to scratch into her room, and she actually pantomimes it. Instead of ringing up my shit. It's like, oh, fuck me.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
The lady on the next aisle over went through 4 people, 2 of which had carts bigger than ours in the time it took us to get out of there.
What did we learn from that?
Not to be nice to people?
Yep, exactly.
Why? Look, some people are just like that, and you just leave them in their shell because you don't want them to come out. I was just trying to be nice and let this person have one customer who's not a shitbag to him all day. I'm sure they had other good customers, but just to make sure, I'm always a good customer, Jack. But there was a lady there when I worked there, and she still works there, by the way, who was the worst cashier we ever had. Very, very friendly lady. And that was the problem because she can't talk and scan items at the same time.
Does she have a cat?
No, she actually has a husband and children. And yeah, she's a talker. And they pushed one time to get the items per minute up. And everybody else, the average for the store was about 800 items for your scan. Or 80 items. I forget what the exact thing is. She was less than a quarter of what the norm was.
Wow.
And I had to talk to her every day. You have to go faster. You can talk to them, just keep scanning while you do it. And my fucking wife, she will get in this lady's line with me there. I'm like, do you just hate me?
A little.
She is the slowest cashier you've ever even seen, and she's ridiculously slow, but she's so nice. She always asks about my children and my grandchildren. It's great. But I'm not here to socialize. Just check me the fuck out. We've been walking, and she'll have an empty aisle, and she'll go, come on down here. And I'll look at them, don't, I will fucking kill you. And they will not charge me for that shit either. Because I will bring the judge down here and let him get checked out by her, and he'll be like, not guilty. I hate slow fucking cashiers. God, I hate slow cashiers. There's my Walmart trip for the day, guys. I don't know why I do this to myself, other than the fact I like hanging out with my wife. But I hate these people. Everybody in there was stupid except me. And yes, I'm including my wife because she should let me yell at these people. I would fix that shit. It's funny because there's a lot of times she'll just be waiting and I can't take it anymore. So I will just move my ass in front of people, grab what I need, and then get out of the way because that's how I shop. I need that. Get the fuck out of the way so I can grab it.
Right? I'm very targeted when I shop. I don't like to meander around unless I absolutely have to. Like I don't know where something is. But no, targeted shopping. This is what I need. I'm gonna go get it. I'm getting out of here. Don't get in my way.
Bold Sign says, I just do self-checkouts. If I'm going to work for Walmart, they're going to pay me. They have cashiers. What was funny to me today, Jack, because I hate self-checkouts. I've always hated them. I hate the idea of them. I hate that they take jobs from people.
Yeah.
The line at the self-checkouts actually came out and wrapped into the Action Alley. The regular lines, there was less than one person. There were actually empty checkouts. There was less than one person in every aisle. And these assholes are standing there because I hate lines.
Wow. I noticed whenever I use the UScan, they want to ask me for my receipt when I leave. And I'm like, no.
If I do a self-checkout, I should get a discount for doing a cashier's job.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like telling me I got to go get the fucking thing I want out of the back room myself. You want me to unload the truck too?
Yeah, right? You want me to run the forklift? Because I'll be happy to break some shit. Totally.
I use the self-checkout because it has no line. Fuck that. I mean, I'll do that if Lady Monkey's there, but if it's just me, I will wait in that fucking line. No, I'm not. I used to get paid to check people out at Walmart. I don't anymore. Stop doing labor for other people for free. All right, Jack, I'm going to wrap this up. My throat is still sore from the show the other night.
Oh.
I talked way too much that night.
I mean, maybe.
By the way, guys, if you have videos like that, long ones, long form, send them to me because, as I was telling Jack, that is some of my favorite content to do. It's just like doing the old videos, Jack.
Yeah.
It's just long form old videos reacting to people. And it's very easy to do. And I'm a lazy motherfucker.
Well, yeah, there's that.
But don't send me boring shit. You know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all be like, Monkey, check this out. And I'm like, did you think I was having trouble sleeping? I can't watch boring people on YouTube, man. I got to turn that shit off. My time waiting is better spent. Whoever is faster, I will do. Oh, it says whatever's faster. That's a whole different sentence. I'm sorry, Faithless. Most of the time, I'm just gonna be honest with you, I don't have anything else to do. I don't. I'm gonna come home and sit and play video games, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I tend to go with whichever one looks least annoying. Because the Walmart I go to, they always have like 12 self-checkouts open and one cashier. And I don't want to wait behind the mobility scooter people because they're chatterboxes.
You can EFAP a Medicare video. He doesn't do videos anymore. All he does is his streams. Monkey likes the cashier girl. No, she was fine until the switch turned on. And then I'm having flashbacks, Jack.
Gee,
no loud noises. We're going to wrap up here. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are so kind. Jack, anything you want to chill out?
No, I didn't do anything, but thank you guys for the donations. You guys are awesome. Glad to see so many people out here. Thanks for coming out.
You can EFAP. No. I'd just be reminded how much better I am at it than them. I'd be like, they've let this guy talk for 20 seconds. What the fuck's going on here? Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. You guys are awesome. We love you. We'll see y'all soon.
Bye, everybody.
I wish I had a great closing. You know, something like that. Like, several people have like taglines they do at the end of their videos.
Yeah.
And I'm jealous of those people. I'm gonna just steal one. I'm gonna pull a Crowder and just steal one.
Well, you have to try a couple out, like don't stick your dick in crazy.
No, I can say don't stick your dick in a toaster because I actually made a video about that once.
Oh yeah. Well, definitely don't do that. Even if you have one of those fake wieners.
Why the hell did I make a video about sticking your dick in a toaster? Anybody remember?
I think it was something to do with that Milo character.
It was a top 10 or a top 5 list or something like that, wasn't it?
Shit, I don't remember. That was like 8 years ago.
Now I'm gonna have to go look it up and watch my own. I hate watching my own videos.
No, you don't. You love it.
Well, no, actually I don't. Maybe it's far enough removed. Making a video, I end up hearing it so often that it actually starts to get annoying as you're doing the editing stuff.
Oh yeah, I understand.
So yeah, that's why I don't, it's not my voice or anything, and I'm funny as fuck. So I even end up laughing at my own jokes and stuff. But I just can't hear it again. It's a traumatic experience. This is why it's the hardest job, Jack.
It's true. It's so dangerous too. I mean, you might strain an earlobe or something.
Yeah. I have hit myself in the face with my headphones.
You almost killed yourself the other day.
Yeah, I did.
You went on Final Destination.
Guys, take care of yourselves. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
I'm done now. You can go home. Why aren't you home? Where are you? I'm going to keep singing. We need a 2-hour show. We got 9 minutes of this. I'm going to make y'all sit through it the whole time. I can sing about anything, anytime I want to.